What's up everyone, Badgers here, and in today's video I want to do a prop bet video where I'm gonna give you what I think is the most highly likely prop for each fight. Let's start with the first fight of the night. We got Cavalcanti and Avila. I see Cavalcanti winning by decision. I think that Cavalcanti by decision would be the likely scenario in this one. We see Cavalcanti, she's a very, there's not much value here, honestly. But I don't think she's gonna finish Julia. But if you wanna bet here, I'll say Cavalcanti by decision would be the most likely scenario. Next fight we got Walter Walker and Don'Tale Mayes. I like Walter Walker to win here. I think he can get it done. What we've seen about Don'Tale Mayes is that once he gets taken down, it's very hard for him to get back up. And what we've seen from Walter Walker is he can consistently take down his opponents. We saw it in every fight he had. He always took down his opponents. I'll say that he wins by decision, but he might get a submission. We saw what he did to Junior Tafa in his last fight. He submitted him with, I think it was a heel hook. And can he do it here? Maybe. You know, Don'Tale Mayes is not the most athletic figure. And if he did it to Justin Tafa, to Junior Tafa, maybe he can get it done here. I'll take decision or submission just to play it safe, because if we take Walker wins by so let's see, Walker wins. So where is this? Okay, so Walker wins by decision 2.4. That's actually good value. Walker win by decision 2.4. By submission, how much do we get for him? Walker by submission 5. And if we take, so yeah, submission or decision, I would say would be the highly likely scenario, and you get much better odds than taking him money line. So yeah, give me Walker by submission or decision. Next fight we got Elijah Smith and Vince Morales. I'll say that if Elijah wins here, he's gonna win by decision. He's not gonna finish Vince Morales, who's a very skilled veteran. So Smith by decision. With that being said, I might sparkle some props on Morales third round to get a finish, just because Smith, we saw it in his fighting contender, he tends to gas in the third round, and you know that might make it very hard for the judges to pick a winner, because if Smith if Morales wins the third round and the first and the second round were competitive, and Morales wins the third round, I would say, in a dominant fashion, this might be a split decision for Morales. So maybe split decision. A fight ends in a split decision towards anyone. Next one we got Bonfim and Chaos Williams. I'll take Chaos Williams to win by knockout. The guy is a beast. We saw what he did in his last fight. He fought against a guy, I wouldn't say the caliber of Gabriel Bonfim, but he fought a grappler first. Carlston Harris. And he just shut him down with that right hook. Just boom, shut down. So he has power. And we saw Gabriel Bonfim giving up before in his fight against a guy who he was a very high favorite in that one, Nicholas Dalby. And Dalby just made him give up. Next fight we got Aguilar and Rafael Estevam. I'll say that Estevam wins here. I know like people are picking Aguilar because he's the dog and he can get a guillotine, but Estevam is a very, very good grappler. He's not just gonna give his head to Aguilar. I don't think that's gonna happen. He's not doing his UFC debut. He's a very skilled jiu-jitsu, and has very good jiu-jitsu, very good grappling. I like what I've seen from him. I don't think he's gonna finish Aguilar, who's tricky to finish. I think that he's gonna get the decision win in this one. Get a decision win. And how much are we getting for him to win by decision? So you see that Estevam is the favorite, obviously. Over 2.5 rounds is 1.8. That's interesting. I like the over, to be honest. The over 2.5 rounds is very, very interesting. The way I see it is, if Aguilar doesn't get the guillotine, what's going to happen is what we've seen from Estevam and what's his name, Charles Johnson, where in the third round he started to gas. I'm talking about Estevam, but he survived. Well, he got decision wins, you know. He grinds you to a decision. That's what he does. So when I see the odds here, I actually really like the over 2.5 rounds. Because he's not gonna try to strike with Aguilar, who's dangerous. And I think it's gonna be much easier for him to get the win by, I would say, to get the win, to control Aguilar. It would be much easier for him compared to controlling someone like Charles Johnson, who's a very, very good, you know, he's very good in his realm of taking takedowns. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Okay, next one, we got Angela Hill and Ketlin Souza. I don't understand how people, and I've seen some cappers, some handicappers, like confidently pick Ketlin Souza to win, which in my mind doesn't make sense, because Angela Hill, although she's 40 years old, she doesn't look like she's slowing down at all. And also she won against competition that I would say would whoop Souza's ass. Like, you saw what she did to what was her name? She fought against that girl who knocked out Bruna Brazil. Denise Gomes. So you saw what she did to Denise Gomes. And Denise Gomes, I would say she may be similar to Souza. I would say that Gomes is much better than Souza, but she's coming at you with pressure, and she tries to knock you out, and I would say she's more dangerous than Souza. And Souza, she got taken down and submitted immediately. Submitted immediately against what's her name? Against Carini Silva. I was like, just she looked like a fish out of water when she was taken down. And then, okay, she got a decision win against Marnik Man, who is, in my opinion, not a UFC caliber. She touched Yasmin Jaragui, but we know she has no chin. And then she choked her. But run that fight 10 times out of 10, like nine times out of 10, she's not winning there, because on the feet, Yasmin is better. She can't take a punch. So Angela Hill can take a punch, and Angela Hill can take you down. That's what she did when she fought Denise Gomes. So I'm very confident in Angela Hill winning. I'll say she wins by decision. So I don't think it's worth it to take the prop here, just because it's probably not gonna be that different. And if Angela Hill somehow, I don't know, submits her, knocks her out, which I can see happening because both things happened to Souza. Yeah, it's and come on, Souza wins by decision. Souza, if she's gonna win here, it's only gonna be by decision. Hill wins by decision. It's just 205. So come on, give me Angela Hill money line. No props here needed. I think she's gonna be the winner. If you wanna take Souza, I'll take Souza by decision, because she's not finishing Angela Hill. Angela Hill fought against the toughest competition in this division, against the killers of this division, and nobody finished her. Delgado and Connor Matthews. I'll tell you what, I like Delgado here. I'll say he gets to finish in round 2 or round 3. The thing about Delgado, he's very, very dangerous. He can knock you out. He can do it, and he did it in the Contender. I think he's gonna do it here. And we saw from Matthews that he gives up. Like Denis Bazooka, who I don't see as a very high level fighter, finished him in the 3rd round. If Denis Bazooka finished him in the 3rd round, I see Delgado doing it even faster. Can he do it in the 1st round? Maybe. But I see Delgado getting a finish here. I'm not impressed by Connor Matthews. Yeah, so give me Delgado to get the win. I'll say round 2 and 3 props would be the most likely scenario, because Connor Matthews probably be still in it in the 1st, but then probably start to give up toward the 2nd and the 3rd. Next one, we got Andre Petroski and Rodolfo Vieira. This is gonna be a tricky one, because Vieira is a top player, right? He likes, when it comes to his jiu-jitsu, he likes to be on top. That's where you get the arm triangles and all that. Petroski, on the other hand, he is a very high-level wrestler. So if I was Petroski, I would probably want to keep this fight on the feet, where he might have the edge when it comes to the striking, compared to Rodolfo. So I'll say that the value lies in Petroski to win by decision. I'll say Petroski wins by decision, because he has the wrestling to keep it standing, and that's first. And he's not a fish out of water when it comes to his jiu-jitsu. Like, even if, I don't know, Rodolfo pulls guard on him, Petrosky can stay safe. So give me Petrosky by decision. I'm not really high on Vieira's takedowns. So give me Petrosky by decision, or give me the over. Over 1.5 I think is very safe. 2.5 also. Yeah, Vieira is not, like, he's not that good of a striker. Like, you never see that good of a striking from, like, jiu-jitsu, past jiu-jitsu guys. But it changes. Like, you look at 145 Diego Lopez, how his wrestling, striking improved, and he came from a jiu-jitsu background. So we'll see. Maybe we see a different type of striking from Rodolfo coming into this fight. Maybe he works on it because he knows what we know. But he got one knockout in his entire career, and he never won a decision. Okay, so, and he tends to slow down, right? We saw that in his fight against Armen Petrosyan. Not Armen Petrosyan. Against his fight against Anthony Hernandez, where he got choked. Yeah. So I'll take Petrosky by decision. How about that? You can, if it's not Petrosky by decision, you can take, I don't know, just take Rodolfo to win inside the distance, maybe as an edge. How much are we getting for Petrosky by decision? That's interesting. Let's see. So Petrosky wins by decision. I like it. I like this value. You know, it's. I'll throw a unit there, maybe half a unit. Maybe. Because it's likely, like, people are hyped about Petrosky taking down Petrosyan and submitting him. But, like, come on. You cannot compare the wrestling of Petrosky and Petrosyan. Like, this guy is a kickboxer and this guy is a wrestler. Yeah, no. And you know what's gonna happen? The thing that's gonna happen is, while Rodolfo try to take down Petrosky, and Petrosky maybe takes him down, but Petrosky gets back up, you know, and what's gonna happen? He's gonna gas, and we saw that he has this problem of gassing in those fights. So yeah, give me Petrosky by decision. That's gonna be the pick. Next fight we got Ismail Bonfim and Nazim Sadikov. This is, I really don't have a good read here. What I would say is that Sadikov is very hard to finish. It's very hard to finish Sadikov. The guy is built out of fucking bricks. So I'll say give me the over 2.5 rounds. Because if Ismail Bonfim is the favorite to get a win here, which I say, okay, he probably has the better striking. Okay. It's going to go over or Bonfim by decision. But don't be surprised if Sadikov gets a finish somehow, because the guy is really good. Like, he's not I wouldn't say he's really good compared to, like, very high level people in 155, but he got wrestling. Like, he can maybe choke Bonfim. We saw that happen when he fought against the older version of Benoit Saint Denis. So yeah, give me the over. I like it. Next fight we got Edmund Shabazian and Dylan Botka. I like Shabazian here. I think that Shabazian can get the finish. I know that he he wasn't lucky at all in his fights, but he has the capability to win again. He can win. It's funny. Shabazian win by KO TKO is 2.1, and fight ends by KO TKO is 2.1. So if Shabazian doesn't finish him by knockout and he maybe gets gassed in the third round, maybe we're gonna see Botka getting, I don't know, ground and pound. So fight ends by KO, I think, would be the highly likely scenario here. Next up, we got Zalal and Kelvin Kattar. Ah, man. The downfall of Kelvin Kattar. This feels to me like... Now it feels to me like... What's her name? Suarez. Gives me Suarez vibes. Like Kelvin Kattar had a knee injury. Not very active. But we don't get the same value on Kattar as some people got on the Chinese Weili Zhang. So yeah, I'll say that Zalal wins. I don't think he's gonna finish Kattar though. Like if Mr. Sterling, Aljamain Sterling, couldn't submit Kattar, would Zalal be able to? I don't know. Maybe. Zalal is very tricky. I'll say Zalal wins by decision, but I wouldn't be surprised if Kattar has some success on the feet, because even when Zalal, when Zalal fought his last fight, when he fought against that Irish boy, I don't think he was Irish. Forgot his name. But he got touched by that guy. And he's not that good of a striker. He's actually a grappler first. And I still had... and in that fight, I actually had him to win. When I say him, I mean Zalal to win by submission, because he's that good with his grappling. But I don't think he's going to do it to Kattar. So I'm actually going to pick Kattar here to win by decision. Okay? Kelvin Kattar to win by decision. I said it. So Kattar by decision. How much are we getting here for Kattar by decision? Because what happens is that some fighters are just, and good fighters, and Kelvin Kattar is a good fighter, but some fighters they get completely irrelevant by the books just because they had a few bad fights, and that might really happen here. Like, don't get me wrong, Yusuf Zalal is one of the best, but he's taking on a guy who fought at the highest competition when it comes to the UFC. So I think that this is a likely scenario. And the last fight, we got Gregory Rodriguez and Jared Cannonier. I'll say fight ends via knockout. Whether it's going to be Rodriguez, whether it's going to be Cannonier, somebody's going to get finished in this one, in my opinion, because both has susceptible chin. Cannonier, especially in this time, this day and age, I think that his best days are already in the past. So it's not the same Cannonier that we've seen before. It's not prime Cannonier, obviously. Rodriguez is on. He's coming up, man. I was very impressed by his performance against the Englishman that he fought. I forgot his name. Um, his last fight, he was really impressive against Leroy Duncan. Really, really impressive. I was surprised by how tough Leroy Duncan is, because he did everything to finish him. But I can't forget the counter left by Bruno Ferreira. And when somebody that what happened in his fight against Bruno Ferreira is that he got countered and he fell and slept. Like, it wasn't like he fell and then Bruno had to jump on him, and no, he got punched and he fell, and that's it. And Bruno has power for sure. Cannonier has power. So I'm just saying, Cannonier by knockout is not that unlikely. Okay, Cannonier. Let's see how much we're getting for Cannonier by knockout. One of those things, one of those like crazy stuff that I'm telling you is gonna happen. So look, Cannonier wins by knockout is 375. This just shows you like that the books see it as the only way for him to win. Which is also interesting because we haven't seen how Gregory Rodriguez looks in the fourth or fifth round. Yeah, but maybe the value is on Cannonier. I don't know. Again, it feels to me like Cater stuff, because Cannonier, like, he looked well, he looked okay, he looked good against Imavov at the beginning. Imavov has really good chin. He also looked well against Caio, but Caio has really good chin. Rodriguez doesn't have that chin. But I'm really worried about Cannonier's state at this point in time. So I'll still go with Cannonier to win by knockout. I think that the value here is on Cannonier by knockout. That's the pick. That's it, guys. If you enjoy this type of content, let me know, and maybe I'll do it for every card. I enjoy doing these breakdowns anyway, so let me know, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.